Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to an almost apocalyptic looking Monday the 20th of August. So the winds are definitely a north wind, which is bringing all them fires down. And man, I can't tell where it's coming from. If you look at like one of these fire apps or whatever, we got our own fires over here this could be coming from as well. I mean, everybody keeps saying it's coming from Canada. Man, west side of British Columbia, good Lord, there's not going to be anything left. You guys looked at any of those fire apps? That's nuts. I mean, some massive fires those guys are getting up there. Whew. Not that we don't have some doozers here ourselves, but dang. But that's blue skies out there. There's not a cloud in the sky, and look how dark it looks out this way. And it seems to be worse the more you look west. If you look east, you can see the little bit of a blue hue out that way. What a mess. You couldn't figure out that was me, Ann, huh? You crazy mongrel. Yeah. Say hello to the camera, Ann. Just wait a minute, you got smells on your hand. So I don't know about, oh look, you can see the division between the blue and the smoke. Wow, it's literally like a line going across. Isn't that wild? Look at that sun up there. It's pretty crazy. So I ran out of time last week when I was changing the brake fluid and stuff. Well, I didn't plan on changing brake fluid that day, but when I seen the leak, which turned out to be just water on top of the diaphragm, I was going to go ahead and do the clutch, but I ran out of time. The day was over, so if she doesn't want to go for a ride, maybe we'll go out there and do that. What do you think, Kylie? This is nasty out here, isn't it? Some kind of nasty. My foot's doing really good, or ankle as it may be. The swelling's all but gone. There's just a little bit there on the outside, but I've been taking it easy on it all day, being a good boy. But let's see what she wants to do here. Maybe we'll go work on the Harley. So we've decided against the motorcycle ride. Yeah, it's bad, and whatever that is coming from the west is about to get a whole lot worse. So she's out here watering the guinea fowl. They chase them poor chickens and guinea fowl. They're just mean. Little watchdog sounding things. It's weird that thing's not progressing any further. It's just kind of hanging out there. But everything from that sun is giving everything a really weird orange look out here. That's the nice thing about the winter, is those things don't have drains in them, so they fill up with water from the rain. You never have to water the chickens in the winter. Ooh, that's some thick smelling smoke. I apologize about the fans, but it's hotter than Hades in here. But anyway, same deal, just loosen everything. You need to get the reservoir level, of course, and just loosen everything, kind of lightly snug it down, because like the tip of the wires go underneath here, so where the wires are going into the handlebar, so do be careful with that. You don't want to pinch a wire on one of these. It'll be a whole nother nightmare. But anyway, we'll pull the reservoir off of here and see what kind of shape the clutch fluid is after we've seen what the brake fluid looked like on the other side. So the fluid isn't horrifying looking, but looks don't tell you nothing. Look at that. She pegs that thing. Watch how fast it goes to 4%. I mean, this stuff is junk. Now watch how fast it goes. Oh, there we go. I didn't have it in there. Crazy. Yeah, that's what they refer to as a crucial time to replace it. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good at all. So I'm looking at this vent. The vent goes through the cap down into that hole. So the exit must be underneath the master cylinder somewhere. But I'm not going to pull the whole thing off to find where it's at. But that's interesting. I don't think I've seen one vent like that. But yeah, that's way worse than what the brakes were, moisture content wise. So next thing we need to do is get the cover off down below. Kind of under a vent there. I hope that's not blowing the mics on this thing. But here's where things could. I've already loosened them with the wrench and then finishing them off by hand. But this is where it could go really easy for you or become a disaster. Most of these tranny covers will exit past the exhaust. Every once in a while, whoa there, mama, you'll get one that won't come past the exhaust. Well, guess what happens if it doesn't come past the exhaust? It's remove the exhaust time. Come on, baby, you gotta clear. Oh no, it's not gonna clear. Oh no, this is like not good at all. Yep, she's not gonna clear that exhaust. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Are you kidding me? Do you know what a nightmare that is? But I've got to do it. I don't have a choice. Son of a gun. That wasn't that big of a deal. Just a heat shield, and pull the muffler off and just loosen everything up, and I was able to pull it out enough to squeak the cover by. So that's no big deal. Anyway, here's your bleed cap here. Is on there good and tight, which I like them. Oh, almost had it. Anyway, there's where you bleed the slave cylinder for the clutch. Clutch is on the other side, but push rod, baby. So anyway, let me get my my bleeding equipment out here and get the old air compressor going again. That thing's loud, but because it's sitting right here behind me. But get that going and get this thing flushed out. There's my little bleeder. So I sucked the cup out once and filled it with a fresh .4, and then I let that set there and dilute a little bit to kind of dilute what's left there, and then suck it out one more time. The main thing, do not suck around that cup, especially on ABS stuff. It don't matter on this. I can just start over. It's not going through a pump or anything. But yeah, you suck around that cup, you're gonna pull stuff. You're gonna pull stuff out of the line. You're gonna introduce air. So just down in the valleys and stuff, and like for whatever reason, Harley has them little cups right there. That's a nice little place for junk to set in, so I can clean in there real well too. I'll show you when it's dry. All right, there's a little cuplet. She's all dry again. I'm gonna fill her up with some .4 and commence flushing. With the little woman's help, I got the system all nice and flushed. Just need to top off and cap the thing off. I explained this in a previous video with the DR or the iron or whatever. Always wash the diaphragm and the cap off with water and make sure they're completely dry. The water instantly dilutes brake fluid. Do not put these ever. Take your cap off. Look at your fluid, for example. Like say you can't read it right because there is no window on a clutch. You have to pull the cap off to see it. So anyway, you always need to wash and dry these things before you put them back on. They absolutely will leak. It may be slow, it may be bad right away. Every manufacturer tells you to make sure they're washed and dry. It's not always in the manual, but you go to any school, they want these things washed with water and completely dried because they do not seal correctly. So remember that. I've talked about this once before. So I've got these washed and dried. Just blow them off with air or hair dryer. If you use a hair dryer, use it on a cold cycle. You don't want to heat that diaphragm. And everything needs to be completely dry. Don't just remove that cap, look inside there and put the cap back on. Dude, do not do it. Look under the seat of most Spyders. because the people can't see the reservoir, so they pull the cap off and look. You'll see brake fluid everywhere. Well, if it's leaking out, it can also leak in. Trust me on this one, especially with your brakes. So when you're filling these things, you have this one little ridge right here. You'll see the L on it. That's the low line. But you want to be just above this one right here. That's the full line. There is no window where you can look inside on most clutches. A lot of them you can, like BMWs and Hondas and stuff. But a lot of bikes, that's sealed off. So anyway, got to be just above that upper ridge. You can see the L for the low line. If it's at the low line, you fill it up to the next spot up. Alrighty. Heat shields, exhaust, everything's all tightened back up. Got the muffler back on. And got the bag back on. And there's some rocking shocks right there. Anyway, she's all bled up top. Everything's happy everywhere. Just need to throw the saddlebag on, knock her off the jack, roll her back into her little home, and say a little goodbye with the woman there. She's already checking on me. Aren't you hungry yet? I said, yes ma'am, I am. Give me just a couple minutes, I'll be done. The one thing I wanted to mention, you know the vent hole that was sitting right there, and I said it must come out from underneath, but actually exits right here behind this and bleeds down into like a little cavity and then out. So if you were to overfill that thing or something and leave her turned with the handlebars over the tank, you could end up with a disaster. Now, just out of safety sake, in case something dripped down that hole while I was doing it, I made sure everything was clean. I got an old cycle wash bottle. It's just water in it, and I doused everything down. If there's any doubt, soak it down. Have yourself a spray bottle of water. Don't get it in your reservoir, obviously. Don't spray it while everything's open, but clean all your stuff off. That ensures there's no trace of brake fluid anywhere. Like I say, water dissolves it instantly. This one quit working as a good spray bottle. So I got some, I don't know, some bottle Kelly had. It works really well. This one you get to ooch after a while, and for whatever reason the cycle wash stuff locks up in it. But I don't know how I'm gonna get this thing on the center stand. I do that with my left foot, so I might have to have Kelly help me get that thing on the center stand. It leans too far to be on a side stand in here. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with another little tech thing. I know it's kind of the same as the brake, but same but different. While I was in there, I lubed my pivot. It's a pivot pin because it's got a snap ring underneath. But lubed all that, made sure everything was clean. So she's good for another 2 years. Unless I power wash it. I still don't know. I don't think that was water from me washing. You see some water on top of every motorcycle you pull one of these things off of. But that one had way too much water. That had to be me. And one of the vents is here. And one of the vents is there. So I don't know. I must have just lost my mind. I'd never spray any high pressure water anywhere. So I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, all the fluids are changed. And we'll be good until 2020. When we do all this once again. Kind of a bummer with the stock exhaust. Most of the ones I do at work obviously have, just about everybody puts aftermarket exhaust on there. Everything clears. So that's just one little extra step. Just had to loosen everything up and just slightly move it out. It was no big deal. It's nice that Harley's exhaust is really easy to deal with. But anyway, again, thank you guys very much for hanging out with me with the old Street Glide once again. Alright, time to go in, eat dinner, start building the video. Oh, wait a minute. We still got to say goodbye. We'll be right back. Well, hello there, YouTube. And welcome to a late night porch vlog. Actually, it's not as late as what you think. I think it's like 9:30. But, I'm telling you, man, just a couple months ago, it'd be like daylight out here, even though at 9:30 the sun's probably, it's set by then. But anyway, hope you guys are okay with another little techie vlog. The weather, as you've seen from earlier footage, that was not riding weather.
No.
That's like fill your eyes and lungs full of junk weather.
Yeah.
Go on a ride. We're thinking of just going for a little small rip and then go out to eat somewhere, but anyway, we both decided it's just too nasty to go out here. Yeah, and it's a good thing because it actually got worse. I'd hate to think what it looks like now. There ain't no stars or anything out there, and it's a clear night.
Yeah, it's just an orange moon.
Yeah, it's weird that it's as quiet as what it is. I mean, it's freakishly quiet. The only thing you hear is the crickets and the frogs or whatever that is out there. I think it's the frogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those days. But anyway, I got that part of the needed service done on the old Street Glide. Took you guys to another one of those things. Hope you enjoy that, because that's what I did today.
Yes.
That, and I built a motovlog thing on the other side. There'll be a link to that below.
Yes.
So, anyway, on that, I think we're just going to roll on out on y'all.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And I hope your Monday or Tuesday are wonderful. Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
I'm so sorry.
Today
Tuesday
is the
or
Monday,
Wednesday. Yeah. I know it.
It does seem like a Sunday, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was off a day.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys very much.
You guys take care.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be driving to work in this stuff.
I know it.
But I guess sometime Wednesday, it's supposed to clear off. That coastal front's going to come back again. Hope it stays for a while.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fires going on. So.
I know it.
Man, what a mess. Some of you guys say you can't even see outside your window hardly.
That's horrid.
Can't even imagine. But anyway, thank you guys again. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.